Hi Rick, we've got your X Quad 550 here with RetraX and your brushless gimbal in the DX9. So what I'd like to do is go into each one of the little parts here, kind of give you an introduction, tell you kind of an overview of the switches and their functions, and then also a little bit about the gimbal and kind of what to expect when you pull it out of the box. Let's take a look at the quad first. I put my GoPro in the gimbal for you there, that way I'll be able to demonstrate its function as well as that way, show you what it looks like. And then the first thing I want to talk about, when you receive your quad, your arms right here, they're going to be folded up. So it's going to look long ways with your legs just like this. So all you're going to need to do is just unfold the arms and pop the topper on. Okay, and that's all you got to do for setting up your frame. And then as far as your blades, those will be off as well. So if you're standing in front of your quad and the blades are off and you're about to put your blades on, this is how they're going to go. So this one up here, which is your front left arm, this blade right here is going clockwise. The one in the rear back here is also clockwise. Now we'll go up here to this one. This is counterclockwise and counterclockwise back here. So you got these two, which are clockwise. And then those two right out there, counterclockwise. So that's how you're going to put your blades on, and that's all you need to do. So you'll unfold the arms, pop the topper on, put the blades on, and then you're ready to go. Your battery is just going to be, what you'll do is your battery is going to be seated right up here. It's just going to slide into this area underneath and then strap in right there. Alright, so let's take a look under the hood. Now I kind of pulled some of this out just to kind of, so I could show you each function underneath here. Right here you have your gimbal, and right down here in the circuit board what you're looking at is these two servo cables plug in, and then they follow this cord right here and they go into your receiver. Now that's all hooked up and set up for you and ready to rock and roll. And here in just a moment I'll explain what your switches do in your transmitter and then why that cable is relevant. Okay, and then so what we have right here, these are auxiliary ports that I built into your power board. So you've got 3 of them. Now currently I have your LEDs, this unit right here plugged in, your LEDs plugged in, and then I also have your gimbal plugged in to these auxiliary jacks. But you can always run your gimbal off a second smaller battery, and that would free up one of these, or you can get a splitter. And so I just want to pull those out to kind of show you these are your auxiliary jacks, and those go right into the power board. Okay, so everything else is already set up and ready to go. You've got your receiver right here with access to the different channels, just in case you had to rearrange anything or plug anything in at all. They're easy access, which you don't. Everything's perfectly set up. This cable right here going into your receiver is for your RetraX. So that's all set up. You'll notice that it's a splitter cable. Your RetraX cables go into there. So that's all set up and taken care of for you right there. And then, like I say, this is your gimbal control, and that's going into your auxiliary 3, and that via one of your levers on your transmitter is what will tilt that up and down, and I'll explain that for you here in just a moment. So that's the setup. This is the front of the NASA. So you notice this is pointing directly forward with the front of the craft, and so that's all set up correctly. You just want to make sure that this is always solid, which it is, so I've set everything up for you. So you won't have to do anything. That's all taken care of for you. You're ready to rock and roll. This is where you will plug your battery into, and you'll just connect that around just like that, and you're good to go. Let's take a look at your transmitter. We've got the DX9 here, and this is actually one of my favorite transmitters because, like I say, this will actually speak out what's going on, different functions. It has a voice built into it. I believe it's female British voice. So kind of cool. But let's talk about what your switches do here. You'll notice that I've actually color-coded your switches here with a little bit of shrink wrap. The reason I've done that is so that way it's easy for you to remember what does what when you're out there flying, and also for just quick reference when you're setting up your transmitter or anything like that. It just keeps it easy and clean for you. So first we'll talk about the black switch right here. I do want to point out that all these other switches, a lot of people ask me what those are for. They are not programmed to anything for your quad, so you don't have to worry about those. You just want to make sure, just keep them all up in the 0 position, and that way this thing doesn't scream at you when you turn it on that there's a switch enabled. So just keep all those in the up position, and you don't need them at all. They're not programmed to anything. Okay, so and that even includes this one right here. This one right here, the black. This is your retractable landing gear. So while that's on, you flick that, which you'll see in the video a little bit later. That right there will retract your landing gear. Okay, let's look at this one right here. The green one is your flight mode switch. So in the back position, or 0 position, all the way back, is GPS. The middle position is attitude mode, and then the bottom position, or position 2, if you will, it shows it right there, 0. You can kind of see that here where you see the G and the 0, the 1, and the 2. So all the way back is position 0. So that's your GPS. Position 1 is attitude, position 2 is manual. Now the red switch directly right behind it, that is your failsafe, return to home. So that is a 2-position switch. That's the one they have marked H right over there. So in the 0 position, it's off, and so no matter which one of these flight modes you're in, you flick this one forward just like that, and then it will return to home. It will fly back and hover over the area that it started, and then it will land and then shut off the motors for you. So regardless of your flight modes, in other words, if you want to get a wild hair and you want to fly in manual mode and you get scared or something goes crazy, you can either put it back in GPS or flick this failsafe, and then it'll take care of itself. This knob right here I have programmed to your gain control. So right now it's set perfectly. At the current setting, it performs awesome. But like I say, if you rotate this up or down, it will change the way the quad behaves in the air, making it either, if the gains are too low, it will make it kind of sluggish and oscillating when you fly, or if they're too high, it'll become jittery, and so it bounces all over the place, and so you don't want that. But like I say, right here, and you can fine-tune that based on how it flies, but like I say, you won't need to mess with that. It's actually all set up for you right there. So that's your knob. Now we're going to spin this around right here, this little lever right back here. So when you turn this on, all it's going to do, okay, it's set up in acro mode or airplane. The timer defaults at 5 minutes, but that can be changed in the settings by pushing this roller ball in right here, and then you can go through and change the different settings in there for like your timer and things like that right here, for example. But as far as your servo setup and endpoints and all of this good stuff, you wanna leave it exactly as it is. I have everything set up here to function the way I have explained it. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know about the settings in there. But like I say, you won't need to change any of your trims. You won't need to change any settings. It's ready to fly, ready to go. The green blinking light right there. This little spot right there is where you're going to plug in the NASA to the software on the computer if you download the software to make any changes or settings or anything like that. You got all those LEDs blinking there. All right, what that is just green means it's in GPS mode, and it's searching for satellites with the red. So we're indoors, obviously it's not finding them very well. But what that's going to do is it's going to blink red, red, red as it's looking for 7 satellites, and then the more satellites it finds, it won't blink red anymore. So actually it looks like it found some satellites in here, and now it's technically in GPS mode locked with the satellite. So now if you're in attitude mode, that's going to be an orange light, and if you're in manual mode, there isn't a light. So so that's exactly what you can expect from those lights, and that's what you're looking for. Right up there. Okay, Rick, what we got here is I went ahead and powered up your transmitter, and then I went ahead and plugged a battery into your quad. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit about this real quick. You see this little blue flashing light right here just above the gimbal, or it's actually inside of there. That just means that this is functioning properly. So like for example, if I tilt the quad this way, it keeps it level. So that's and you'll see that in the flight test video. But actually what I'd like to demonstrate is the tilt function for you. Just without turning the transmitter here, I'll use my thumb. There we go. We'll turn it back that way, and then you can stop it. And like I say, I demonstrate this actually in the video, so you'll get to see some actual footage from my GoPro in there. So if you want it to just hold right there as you're flying around, and then you want to tilt up, and you could do this on the fly while you're flying. And again, I demonstrate that in the video, so you'll be able to see that. So I just wanted to demonstrate there for you. Rotating that knob will tilt your gimbal. Rick, this thing is awesome. You're gonna love it, and it is a blast to fly. So let's move on to a little flight video for you, and give you a little demonstration of how she handles. The wind was kind of rough, a little bit out there. I'd say probably about 10 to 12 mile an hour. So obviously not that bad, but you'll see just how well this thing handles and holds itself in the air, even with a little bit of wind. So enjoy the flight.